All right, it says we live. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Bear with us. Check the feed. Shalom out there. Just waiting for it to pop up.
We on.
We on. Hey, shalom out there, man.
Shalom.
All right. The brothers of GMS Charlotte. Back at you with another live lesson through the Holy Spirit of Rakakwadash. All right, we had to keep it inside today. The weather was trash, so we're gonna bring it out on the StreamYard here. So we pray that you're informed and also edified. And before we get started, we want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who taught us his truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. Shalom to the elect.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. So we're back with another live lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash. And we're going to get into this thing. This is pretty much an open forum, prophecies and various topics. As you brothers and sisters out there know, America is on the pathway of destruction, man. So we're going to continue to highlight those points, man, because every day is one step closer to the demise of Babylon the Great, which is America, according to the Bible, and salvation of the Lord's elect. All right. And Lord willing, man, we get delivered out of here sooner than later. All right. Because we do know, according to prophecy, that time is limited on this thing, man. All right. Matter of fact, give me that in Daniel, the 5th chapter, about how the Lord has numbered this place.
God.
This is Daniel chapter 5 and verse 25. It says, and this is the writing that was written, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin.
Mm-hmm.
This is the interpretation of the thing, Mene.
Right. Now, when I was looking that up, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but where it says Mene, it means number. Number, Tekel, Upharsin. All right. So your kingdom has been measured, it's been divided, if you will.
Yep.
All right. And basically, this is the state of Babylon right now, America. Okay, because this is the writing on the wall that King Belshazzar saw before Babylon ultimately was taken down by the Medes, Persians and Medes. Go ahead.
It says, Yahweh Shem Yahushua have numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel.
Yeah. Right. So the Most High pretty much has numbered this kingdom and finished it. This kingdom, the days of this place has been numbered, and we're seeing, we're watching the countdown, so to speak, man, through the Spirit. You know, we see everything the Lord has given us, all the signs that we need to show us that this place is done. You know, you got it, priest.
It says, Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting.
Yeah, you found lacking. Okay, you found lacking. You know, without the law, statutes, commandments, man. Right. And we've seen the examples of all kingdoms and empires that rule, you know, without Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and you see what the Lord did to them.
Exactly.
You know, you got it.
Because when you look at how the Lord pretty much, how he divided each of the kingdoms up, that he only gave them a certain period that they were allowed to rule before he took them down and allowed the next kingdom to come up. So Esau understands that his kingdom is being, parted in front of his eyes. So he's doing everything he can to try to extend it, but he's not understanding that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has this man's end written already, man.
Exactly. You got it, brother.
It's Job 14 and verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Mm-hmm. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Right. So seeing that his days are determined, because we know that the end is written of Esau, man. It's written all throughout the scriptures. That's the main message that we're preaching to our people, that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to destroy Babylon the Great. And it says that his days have been numbered. Read again about what?
It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Mm-hmm. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Right, so he knows that he's at the end of his rulership, man, which is why he's trying to do all these nefarious means to try to extend the rulership. You got the red heifer sacrifice that they're doing over there in the land of Israel. They're trying to, bring forth this technocracy so that they can upload their consciousness to to the supercomputer or the cloud or whatever to try to get eternal life. But all that's going to come to naught because Yahweh Shem Shai has made it to where Esau, you're at your end, man. So nothing that you do is going to extend past the time that the Lord allows you to rule, man.
Exactly. And he thinks that he can change that. He thinks that he can offset that, you know, because in his mind, according to Psalms 49 and 11, their inward thought is that their kingdom shall rule forever.
Right.
You know, so he's sadly mistaken. You know, you got any more?
That was it on that.
I had a quick precept, if I may.
How you got
Just to touch on that point, just linking up what brothers are going into about, you know, Esau being time. He has an extension of time that he's been given, but he's about to reach that end. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
Yeah.
So Esau, Edom, being in the position of rulership right now, he is put into the position for prophecy's sake to be able to rule and govern the earth, but he's reaching that end. It's numbered.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The Lord got him in straits.
Yep.
You know, I got one more, and we'll get into the content here. All right, but this is we go to Job real quick. All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 18. Okay. So this is Job chapter 18, and we'll start at verse 7, and it reads, it says, the steps of his strength shall be straightened. All right. Meaning he's going to be in a position of difficulty, man. All right. And we see that now. His military is about to lose. All right. We got an article lined up here, pretty much how Russia has over 500,000 troops ready on the front line. All right. And what was heavy too, just a few days ago, it came out that Russia, you know, pretty much destroyed over 500,000 of Ukrainian soldiers. You know, so this thing is mounting up for the apocalypse, man. All right, and the West is in dire straits right now, man. Okay, so it says, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. Right? It says, verse 8. It says, Job 18 and 8, it says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare, right? Because Yahweh Shem Shai ultimately has that trap set up with for him, right? Which pretty much, as I made mention before, how the Lord is going to allow Esau to be destroyed with his own blessing. All right. The same nuclear technology that the Lord gave him to create is what he's going to use to destroy his ass.
That's
all right. So it says, verse 9, it says, the jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way, right? Because what's like I just mentioned, you know, we're going to see the fall of his military, and we're also going to see the fall of this man's economy, right? It says, terror shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet, all right? Because right now you have all these nations making alliances together to come against him, pursuing to Obadiah, the first chapter. Verse 12, it says, his strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. You see that? So all of these things, as we go into continuously, are being prepared for who? For Esau. All right. For the modern day Pharaoh. Okay. To be taken down ultimately. All right. So everything that we see, everything that we go through week in and week out, these prophecies all lead to the pathway of destruction, man. All right. So let's get into that. Unless brothers had anything else they want to add in there. All right. So let's play this first quick clip here, and then we'll edify. All right. So LDS Shawamba brought this out today. This is from Redacted. It says WEF just admitted cash will soon be illegal. All right. You see that? WEF just admitted cash will soon be illegal. So all of you that's been following in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, you know exactly what's coming next. All right. WF just admitted cash will soon be illegal. Here's how their plan works. All right. So let's play a little bit.
Saudi Arabia to accelerate their move to an all-digital currency, no cash. During a WEF meeting in Saudi Arabia last week, the central bank governor of Bahrain, Khalid Houmadine, said ordinary people cannot be trusted to spend their money how they see fit. These are the words that came out of his mouth. And the elite must completely ban cash in the near future in favor of a digital solution, he said. Houmadine also then he sort of boasted that the general public is going to accept what we tell them to accept because they're going to do this without a struggle because we're going to give them a central bank digital currency. And basically he's saying, you are all sheep, and when the elites speak, you will follow us. Watch him.
Right. Now, real quick, Tazwan, do you got that article that we brought out last week about the 98% of the world's countries are on board? You got that pulled up on the tab? Can you pull that in your tab real quick? Because this is everything that we've been talking about, man. Okay, everybody's on board with this thing. We're seeing the transition of the money system, all right, from physical cash to digital. Okay, which what is the MOTB? You know, so pull that up real quick. I just wanted to read through that briefly, and then we'll go back to the video, just showing you how these things are coming to pass as we speak, man. You know.
Con, I got it shared.
Okay, Con. All right, let me pull you up. You got it, bro. Go ahead.
This is an article posted from Blacklisted News, April 29th. It says, new report, over 98% of the world's central banks gearing up for the new system of programmable, trackable digital cash. And 24 nations will have live CBDCs by 2030.
Mm-hmm.
All this despite almost zero coverage in the mainstream corporate media to date, most of which still refers to a fully digitized monetary system as conspiracy theory. The era of cash money is nearing its end, and with it will come the end of privacy.
Damn, there you go. So trackable, programmable, trackable digital cash, man. We tell you when you can spend. We tell you where you can go, what you can and cannot do. This is the world to come, Jake. All right, and many people are going to be on board with it, right? You got it, brother.
I'm gonna just jump down to a point right here in the article. It says the WEF is not the first to reveal the plans of the globalist elite, which have been preparing for years to eliminate paper fiat currencies. But this latest report indicates the grand plan is now very close to being realized, perhaps just awaiting a triggering event, a black swan event of some type, before making the switch to digital cash.
You can speak.
Right? So as we know, excuse me, the implantable device that goes under the skin, the charagma, excuse me, right, is tied to this system of buying and selling. Right now, it made mention of the black swan event. Right. If I could just grab a quick precept.
You got it, brother.
While you get to that, I wanted to kind of speak on that too, because this is why you're seeing Esau just continually hitting you with all these, fear-mongering stories of the different plagues, threat of EMP, blackouts, it's a constant threats of being attacked at different angles, and it's going to be something that's just going to hit. That's going to be so great to where that's the opportunity that they're going to use to bring in this casting system.
Yep.
So it's like you're being conditioned to brace for impact, but you don't know when that hit's going to come, though, man.
That's it.
Right. I got two right fast. First, Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Right. So the legislation that this devil is going to enact to have reason and grounds to pretty much put this all together out there to the masses, as I said, it's going to take a triggering event, a black swan event, which when you look at the platforms of these elites, they're consistently talking about there can be an EMP attack. There can be an attack on the clearinghouses that clear the digital currencies or the transactions between different institutions, right? It's all discussing an end to this system, right? So that they can have reason to enact these unrighteous decrees, to write them, right? Now, going into the aspect of the charagma, right? As we always go into Revelations 13 and 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? Now we go into this word causeth, Strong's G 4160. In fact, let me share this right quick.
You got it.
Strong's G 4160. Definition G 1, it says to make, i.e., constitute, right? And that's the point right there.
Mhm.
How can they constitute things into law and have reason, right?
Right.
How can they come together with strong reason to come against the people and enact this technology, right? It goes on to say in verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell. And that's what you see a lot of these other camps are not focusing on, is the aspect of buying and selling, right? Which we see is being forwarded in this new digital age, right?
Right.
A system where there's going to be an implantable device put inside of your skin.
Con.
Right.
Hey, Slocky, brother, if I could add to you just real quick, could you pull that definition back up?
Yep.
I looked up that word constitute in the Edamon online. That's going into what you're saying and how we're seeing how events are playing up. Because when you look up this definition for constitute, as it says on the screen, it says to constitute or appoint one anything, to appoint and to ordain one that. But constitute, it says to enter into the formation of as a necessary part. And that's why Esau is doing everything. He's lining all the events up to make it to where this is the perfect time to introduce this to the people.
Right.
All right. It says to cause, to stand, to set up, to place, establish, to set in order. It says to appoint or elect to an office or position of power. And that's what they're gearing up to put as the power for the new system of the new world order is for everything to go digital, all to lead up to the mark of the beast being implemented for you to survive in the upcoming society.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's all this devil's plan, man.
Yep.
Keep you in perpetual sin.
Exactly.
You got any more Itazwan?
Con, it's a little bit more. Salakia. Verse 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which coincides with this entire beast system, right? But that mark is of vital importance for people to be able to access the markets and buy and sell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As we're seeing the discussion that's being had amongst the globalists, amongst these people that are in high positions of power is, look, we're done with the dollar. We're done with cash. We're switching to a digital age.
Mm-hmm.
And you people are going to have to submit to it. But how are they going to cause it? Right? It's going to be Black Swan event.
Exactly.
Right? A triggering event.
And this is a super big deal because according to the prophecies, as Apostle Elder Gabar always says, before the World War III takes off, that CHIP has to be mandated, man. So we're actually seeing it. All right. And that MOTB, of course, is going to be tied to sin. Let me get that real quick. All right.
While you getting that, I wanted to make mention too, because as we know, the thing that makes these bankers declare war is for money. So with the looming economic collapse will be the perfect time for them to implement this, and then World War III is going to kick off just for that.
Makes sense. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 27 and verse 2 in the Apocrypha. And it reads, it says, as a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doeth sin stick close, right? So doeth sin stick close between buying and selling, right? So absolutely, man, the MOTB is tied to sin, man. All right. You take that CHIP, you are going off, man, and you're going to be destroyed pursuant to Revelation chapter 14. It gives you the end result for all those that sell out to this man's image and take the mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. You're going to taste the fire before the Lord and his holy angels.
That's right.
Right. So it says, so doeth sin stick close between buying and selling, man. All right. So for those that are like, oh, it's just a harmless, CHIP, this is the way, it's not the MOTB, whatever, the Lord didn't want you to see it ultimately. All right. Exactly. And you're going to be destroyed. All right. Because you still got people now that's scoffing at the prophecy of the MOTB, man. you got these guys talking about some damn Mark, man. That ain't no Mark, You know, all the especially it's always Jake in these comics, in the comic section on these videos, scoffing and talking shit. That's why 2/3, the majority of our people will be destroyed. Thus said the scriptures, man.
That's right.
Right.
Right. So let's go back to you had
Before
something.
I wanted to read the next verse, if I may.
Yeah, you got it, bro. Let me go ahead
I
and pull
got
you back
precept
up.
back there.
This view is across Sirach 27:3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, his house shall soon be overthrown.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
and a lot of these guys that are saying, like the Quan was saying, they're seeing the writing on the wall, but they're trying to scoff and scorn and make joke of the prophecies. And your house is going to get overthrown because, as the scriptures tell us, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
That's right.
Okay, so these guys they don't have no oil. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They're clueless. They're bullshitting. Okay. And in this time of grace, you misuse your opportunity to seek after the prophets, to take heed to the prophecy. So when these things come to pass, and they shall come to pass, your house shall be overthrown.
That's right.
They're not properly preparing, all right, for what Yahweh Bashim Shai is about to bring, man. You know, so we're letting you know these things before Esau puts them, on the books, which the stage is already set for it. We just got to see it. So real quick, this is Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. So all the things dealing with the MOTB system is already put on the books, man. Like I said, we're just waiting for the event for them to actually implement it. And once they implement it, you are obligated by law to take this. Otherwise, you're going to be excluded from society.
That's right.
So this man is literally telling you, look, either you submit to sin and be a slave to our system, or you're gonna die, man. And that's why you gotta make that choice. Are you going with Yahweh Shemal Shah, or are you going to intentionally sin against the Lord, man?
That's right.
Verse 2. Khan, it says to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless, because what they're trying to do is strip all your human rights from you to where you literally have no choice but to bow to them, or like I said, die. But we understand that this choice isn't being left to the elect, because we have Yahweh Shemal Shai. These people, like Charles gonna say, that's not preparing that house. They're not gonna have nothing, man. And that's who the woe is gonna be unto in that day, man.
Con, I got one more before we play the clip. This is Proverbs 1:32. It says, "For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them." And it says in my sword, their refusal to listen. All right. So you're gonna be destroyed in your simplicity, Jake. All those that laughed, that mocked, and scoffed at the prophecy of the MOTB, you're gonna eat all those words in that day, man. Because you're gonna be the main ones that's gonna go down to Egypt and take it. All right. So let's get back into it here. All right.
Mouth. And the elite must completely ban cash in the near future in favor of a digital solution, he said. Humedin also, then he sort of boasted that the general public is going to accept what we tell them to accept.
Exactly.
Because they're going to do this without a struggle, because we're going to give them a central bank digital currency. And basically he's saying, you are all sheep. And when the elites speak, you will follow us. What?
Yeah, people gonna be with it, and the prophecies say that. I gotta get that real quick. People are already wooed off the lying wonders and miracles, man. So real quick, and we'll play it again or finish playing it. This is Revelation 13. In verse 8, it says, "And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him." Right? Speaking about Esau and in this beast system. It says, "Whose names are not written in the book of life." Salaki, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world, which is 2/3 Esau and the rest of these heathen nations, man. All right? They're going to submit. You see? But as Paul said in in Romans 11, right? He said that, there's roughly paraphrasing that he has reserved 7,000 men that have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
That's right.
Right?
Watch him and listen.
If we think cash is the analog,
how's the chicken?
So, let me let this pass.
You will follow us. Watch him and listen.
If we think cash is the analog and digital currency is the form of digital, CBDC is the digital form of cash today, clearly we're in a hybrid situation. We're using both. And we know in the past, when it comes to cash, central bankers were very much in control with all aspects of cash. And now we're comfortable to the point where the private sector plays a big role in the printing of the cash, in distribution of the cash, and with the private sector, we use interest rates to manage the supply of cash. The same thing is likely to happen with CBDC. Yes, the central bank will have a role, but at some point in time, the same way we don't call it central bank cash, we're probably going to stop calling it central bank digital currency. It's going to be a digital form of the cash, and at some point in time, hopefully, we will be able to be 100% digital. People are used to it. Right now, is many of our payments are digital. The truth is, I said that we're in a hybrid model.
I want to say something real quick. And see, this is what we keep talking about at camp. You know, when we talk about how this man is on these platforms and he's boasting of his plans, right? The WF all over the internet, they're on these platforms letting the world know what they're about to do to the people, man. All right. Real quick, I got two. This is the first one here. This is Psalm 73 in verse 7. The point is in 8, and it reads, it says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than a heart could wish. All right. Going back to the blessing Esau had pursuing to Genesis 27. Right. His blessing was the sword and the fatness of the earth. Right. Verse 8, it says they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression, because really this digital currency that they're talking about, this CBDC or whatnot, this is all oppression. All right. As the brother Itazwan brought out the article, 98% of all the countries across the world are on board with this translation into this digital currency, where they're going to issue out a programmable and trackable, digital money system. That's oppression, man. All right. Disguised as something beneficial for society, So it says they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully, which is proudly. Okay. They're just out here just letting people know. This is what we're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do to buy and sell. You're gonna have you're gonna own nothing and be happy. You're gonna be limited on the things that you can purchase, food, carbon tax, all of this madness that they're pushing right now. Let me get one more. All right, this is Psalms 94 in verse 4. I started at 3. 4 is the point. Psalms 94 verse 3 says, Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, how long shall the wicked triumph? Verse 4 says, how long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? You see that? So this is what they're doing. Esau not hiding no more. We at the end of this thing, and they're just letting it be known. All right. You see, as Priest made mention earlier about the laws that are being set in place. All right, the anti-shimmy and all of that. So this man is constructing everything to bring full-blown oppression upon the planet Earth. All right. So let's go back and play the video.
I got one for you, if I could.
You got it. Go ahead, bro.
It's Psalm 10, and I'll start in verse 2. Mm-hmm. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. So what we're seeing is Esau's devices are ultimately going to be a snare unto himself, man. Right? That's all right. These things are about to trap him up, right? What he has set out, right, to ensnare the nations, and chiefly you Israelites, right, is going to become a snare unto him. It says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. So like Zaquan may mention, man, they're making these boasts, they're making these broad proclamations, their pride is speaking out, and we're seeing it. This is the most we've heard these men speak, right, in years.
Bro, we've never seen these niggas before until recently. Right. And then they just come out the blue speaking all this big shit, man. That shows you the pride of this devil, man. Not to cut you off slightly.
God. Hey, what precept was that, Quanwa?
Psalm 10 and 3.
Okay, I just wanted to write that in the notes, man. That was that's some good precepts right there, man.
Yeah.
Bear with me 1 second. All right, so this is all right, one more, Salakia. You know what? That's it. Let's go back to the video. All right. Here we go. Go back to it. Point was made.
So it's going to be a digital form of the cash, and at some point in time, hopefully, we will be able to be 100% digital. People are used to it. Right now, is many of our payments are digital. The truth is, I said that we're in a hybrid model. There's less and less use of cash, and I think that from predominantly digital with a little physical, I think the transition to fully digital is not going to be a stretch. People are used to it, people are engaged in it, and circumstances did help. His adoption rates increased because of COVID.
Yeah.
This is where contactless started to become something of a necessity, something of a safety, something of a requirement. And because of that, there is very little resistance. Trust is already there. We just need to build it in a way that makes sure that we safeguard the risks. Cybersecurity risk is a must, and it needs to be dealt with at the national level. And to counter cybersecurity risk, you need to continue to invest, you need to continue to collaborate, and you need to continue to train. With those three things, we've done it in the past. I think we should be able to manage these risks.
Okay, I have a lot of questions there. A lot of questions there.
And I'm sure the infrastructure that just had a massive cyber outage in Britain the other day for their airplanes when they're all grounded. Imagine like the same infrastructure applies to your payments in one afternoon.
Sure.
Right? I mean, this is what we're talking about, the cybersecurity risk.
Yes, money is hacked all the time.
Right.
All the time.
What are your questions?
Okay. So first of all, who died from cash during the COVID pandemic?
Didn't you hear?
I know that was the rumor. I would like some data on that.
There was hundreds of thousands of people apparently perished because they were licking cash.
Because they were exchanging money.
Right. Like if I had COVID and I coughed onto like $100 bill, because that's all I carry.
Right. So that's a passe thing to say.
And that's perfect. That's the perfect excuse to say that, money is contaminated, they can come up with something saying that, hey, the money is contaminated. We got to get it out of circulation, get rid of it. And this is going to be the new form of currency. I mean, there's so many different ways, as we read in that article about a Black Swan event taking place, that's going to usher in this new transition of this system. Right. Like you can see it, man. A blackout, a cyber attack. You remember all of America's, financial systems and things of that nature. They're all vulnerable to be hacked.
Yeah.
So you really don't know how this thing is going to play out, but they're going to bring this shit, man. All right.
I get a quick precept because listening to how he was wording everything, when you pick through what he was saying, he's literally telling everybody like, "Look, we're literally going to destroy the dollar, but we're going to do it in a way that the people don't notice it to make them get accustomed to get ready for the cashless society." So when you can dissect that through and really listen to what he's saying, he's telling you what they're about to do. This is Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smooth than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. That's what he's using. These sweet words to butter you up, but he literally tell you how he's about to lock you up, man. Because that whole thing of how he just made that sound like it sounded good, but until you realize like no, he's telling you they're about to crash the dollar, man.
Yeah.
But his words is witchcraft, Slocky.
No, it's Slocky. It's a form of conditioning. Like when we were young, right? When we were teenagers, when we had money, we had cash. You had your wallet full of cash. Then when we got older, what you had debit cards. Nowadays, nobody carries cash. Somebody asks you for a couple dollars. I ain't got no cash. I just got the card, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
so that's how they did it, man. They got people used to using the debit card and the smart payments and the Apple Pay and shit like that,
Yeah. As you're saying, that transition where you said it went from cash to card. Now, people don't even carry their wallet now because, like you said, you got the touch pay with the phone. You swipe the phone over the joint, it pays for it. So then they're going to take the phone away, and then what's left? It's going to be your hand.
Man. You had something out?
I'm trying to.
Okay, I'll play a little. You had some Quanawa?
No, we can keep going. I got a couple articles.
Okay, Khan. I'll play a little bit more, and we'll get the point on that on this video here. All right.
I mean, it was necessity of cash.
You would have gotten it. Right. It was a
Right.
joke. It was ridiculous.
And he's still saying it, so that should be unacceptable to say in civilized society at
Right.
this point. But the second part that he says, if you read about a great book that I want to suggest is called Layered Money, about the history of currency and why currency was ever put in the hands of governments was basically just propaganda. Julius Caesar liked the idea of his face on dollars, and then the Roman Empire could devalue the amount of nickel or whatever metal was in each coin and give themselves more money. So they were not able to resist enriching themselves through the control of a central currency that is controlled by the government. But what he's saying is that since then, private companies have been able to wrestle control already out of these governments, and now they control the cash flow. He said that in the beginning. So no longer are governments in control of money. It's really the globalists, the finances, the bankers. That's an amazing thing to admit out loud, that we've already wrestled control away from global governments. We are, in fact, moving towards a globalist society. Anyone catch that? That's outrageous.
No, it's absolutely.
Boom, and that's the point. That's everything that we've been telling you, man. All right. So what you got, Quantum Wolf? And we'll make grab some more articles here.
I did want to just land back, adding to what we're seeing take place in Cuba right now, right?
Yes.
Where they're running out of cash. That was something that had been already set in motion, right? They had already set their wishes to go cashless, right? With the idea to stem a lack of money flow, So now we're seeing there's no cash in the banks, right? They're telling the people, look, there's nothing here for you, right? All the money is gone, So this is them forcing the people into having to accept that digital currency, man. Right? Which is ultimately going to force them into taking those caragos, man. So what we're seeing now is that starting to trickle into the United States economy, right? Where the dollars are going to be less and less frequent, right? You're not going to see cash, as brothers have been making mention. The people are being conditioned to accept the lifestyle of using digital payments, right? And all that convenience is ultimately going to walk them into that trap, man.
That's right. I'll play a little bit more just to see what he's gonna say, and then we'll pretty much wrap the video and go to these articles real quick. And then hold that Zephaniah 1 on deck too.
The case. They want to, this is what the World Economic Forum wants. They don't want the United States Treasury to be in charge. They want the central banks. They want a few central banks that are controlling all of this money flow. Unelected globalists will control the flow of money.
Man.
This is why it's okay that these small banks are collapsing, because they're being gobbled up by the conglomerate that are then, when we think about a BlackRock or a Vanguard, it's not like in New York City, it's international, right? So this is already happening. But this is happening right before our eyes. And so he says that you, the people, can trust central banks to do whatever they want. Do you? Do you trust the central banks? He's speaking for you. A lot of people in the chat says, you might want this, meaning that guy. You might want this. We don't. This is a bridge further than we previously heard. Last year, they were telling us that they would go 100% digital, but they wouldn't eliminate cash completely. Like, you'd still have cash. You don't have to worry about that. Now he's admitting the truth. They want to eliminate cash 100%. Those were his words. We want to be 100% digital.
There you go. So what more do we need to say? All right. And all you niggas out there that played around with the breakdown of the MOTB Revelation 13, 16, and 17, man, you in a world of hurt, man. You got it,
one. I just wanted to add to the point, that they're highlighting in the video about how, these banks are pretty much swallowing up the control of the countries, really, right? As she's saying that a lot of these corporations, right, they're pretty much being ran by the bankers, right? And we understand that these countries, they're pretty much being orchestrated by these corporations, right? The corporations, they're the donors. The corporations are the people that are in the background whispering for these people to do what they do under the guidance of these elites, right? So I just had a quick precept. Proverbs 22:7, it says, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender, right? So we understand that, look, These countries have put themselves in a shit bag, submitting themselves to these elites, right? These elite bankers. They're slaves. They're subject to whatever rules and regulations they set in motion, right? So as we see these globalists on these platforms talking about how they're going to outlaw cash and we're going to go into a digital age, this is assured to happen.
Though it wait for it, though it tear, wait for it. It will surely come and will not tarry, man. You know, grab that Zephaniah 1 and 10, and we'll read that chapter, and then we'll move on to some other topics or some other articles here, just to add on to the fact that this place is on the pathway of destruction, and America is at the point of everything being shut down. All right, starting with the money.
That's right.
All right.
God, this is Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills."
And there's going to be another. There's going to be another crash. You know, another so-called market crash, if you will, man, which is going to end cash totally. All right, you got it.
Howl, ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off.
Right. So talking about the where it said the merchant people, going back to your investors, the stock market, your shareholders, all right, your financial gurus, all right, people who watch over the economy. Okay, all of this thing is about to crash out, man. Go ahead.
Verse 12. "And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees."
Right. Speaking about these false prophets that are settled upon their leads, that are comfortable here, man. You got a lot of Jakes, you got a lot of Israelite groups, I should say, false prophets, if you will, right, that are making bank, you know, playing off the ignorance of the people, lying to them, you know, settled upon their leads, man. And the Lord said he's going to punish them. Go ahead.
Okay, I have a point real quick.
You got it.
Just reading this in the commentary, it said the Lord promised judgment against those who felt that the Most High was distant or detached from their lives and have thus become complacent. What we're seeing, that complacency. You know, Jake is in the mindset of nothing's really happening yet. You know, it's a lot happening. You know, the fire hasn't really hit Jake yet. No? So
exactly.
Now they're comfortable enough to make moves and act in a certain way that is further away from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man.
Yeah. Every existing Israelite camp on the earth is supposed to be warning and talking about these topics right here, man. All right. These topics cannot be ignored because these are pivotal points in prophecy here, man. All right. We all know in order for that MOTB to be established, they have to get rid of this current system. And we're seeing it. They're telling you in your face, right? If you don't want to hear us say it, you got Edomites telling your ass. Look, these bankers, the elites are like, look, 100%, they trying to get rid of cash. All right. Go ahead, Op.
Continuing on, verse 12 in the latter says, "That say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil."
They're unconcerned. They're settled on their leads. They're not worried about what really matters, right? Right now, a lot of these guys have received their consolation on this side, man.
Yep.
Right? You got the big bag, you got the massive congregation, you got the you getting a little bit of worldly fame and notoriety and shit. You know, you're being set up as a king, so to speak. You know, these guys are sitting in Moses' seat. You know, they got it already. You know, they're not trying to warn the people of what's really about to go down. You got it.
Verse 13, "Therefore their goods shall become a booty,
Spoil. Yep.
and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof."
Yeah, you got guys talking about, we need to build Hebrew banks, Hebrew universities and shit. just tripping, man. You know, Jake losing right now, man. Hard. Go ahead.
It says, verse 14, "The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly."
Right. All these things that we're talking about, these things are hastening greatly. They're coming. They're coming to fruition fast. Go ahead.
Even the voice of the day of Yahweh. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly.
Mm-hmm.
That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Right. So we're warning the sheep, the lambs, the flock of the terrible day of the Lord that's getting ready to come upon this world, and more specifically America, man.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Verse 16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers.
Right. The high tower is representing the elites in this verse right here. All right. Those that are in the power seat. Go ahead.
Verse 17, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung.
Right. Imagine the distress that's going to be on these people when an average nigga that don't know nothing that's going on, when he find out that, look, he can't have access to cash no more. How you think he gonna act?
He gonna bug out.
You know?
Yeah. Verse 18.
Hey, we saw examples of that when it wasn't even really even dealing with cash all the way, but all them guys when Bank of America pretty much wasn't it was all trying to call, figure out what's going on with their account. Yeah, all the people in the bank looking crazy because nobody would answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
The different videos of people going to the bank to go withdraw money, and they're not letting them do that, so they're looking all crazy. So when they look, see on their phone, their account says 0. All right, no cash to get out the bank, bro. These people gonna lose it, man.
Man, go ahead, bro.
Verse 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath.
Right, because it's going to be worthless. The gold and the silver is tied to the money. All right, it's going to have no value. Go ahead.
But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
Right, because hey, once that MOTB is pretty much on the scene, all right, expect Armageddon to follow, and it's going to be a total destruction. The Lord is going to make a speedy riddance. It's going to be quick of all them that dwell in the land. Right. So just to add on to what we brought out here in the beginning of this lesson, right, just to show you that everything is going downhill onto the pathway of destruction. Right. This came out yesterday. This is from AmericaFirstReport.com. It says a restaurant apocalypse. It says a restaurant apocalypse is starting to sweep across America, and that is really bad news for the U.S. economy, man. See, we warning y'all, man, but are you listening? Right? So, because right now you got all of these major food chains, restaurants that are just shutting down. All right. There was this restaurant. It was this chicken restaurant downtown. I forgot the name of it. Like I literally saw this restaurant open up, and then literally like 3 months later, it was shut down. Right. and that shows you the state of this economy, man. Nothing can thrive.
Hey, I remember over by where we used to camp out, we had that spot Firewater. We literally was camping outside while they was literally, closing down. They was taking all the shit out to the car truck while we was at camp. And we was literally there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly, man. Everything is getting shut down, man. All right. It says, just reading a little bit here. It says you can get a really good idea how the U.S. economy is doing by watching restaurants in your area. That's the spirit, right? It says when the economy is booming, restaurant parking lots are full and chains are feverishly establishing new locations. But when the economy is struggling, restaurants get a lot less traffic and poor performing locations get shut down. Sadly, in 2024, it appears that a restaurant apocalypse has started to sweep across America, man. So, you niggas ain't eating out no more.
Nope.
Hey, that shit is expensive as hell anyway, man.
But if I may add too, Saquon, that's adding to these gig workers, right? Because all these people who do DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, right? They don't want to do regular jobs. So they go and do that. But with the restaurants closing down, then there's going to be less work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, they can't go deliver for these lazy people no more.
Heavy. It says most people have little discretionary income to spend as a result of our cost of living crisis. That's true, right? Let me read that again. It says most people have very little discretionary income to spend as a result of our cost of living crisis. Right, man. People are finished, man. All right. Hey, people are on a tight budget, man. All right. Like I said before, there was a meme I saw. It said it costs $350 just to go outside. All right. Going outside is expensive. Right. It says that is particularly true for our young adults. Americans under the age of 40 love to eat out, but these days, most of them are experiencing financial stress, and this is having an enormous impact on the restaurant industry, right? You know, hey, a dinner for two gonna cost you about $1.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and the gratuity. You know, you forgot about the gratuity,
Bro. That's so bad with that. That shit adds on if you just 1 or 2 people now.
right?
It's like, we know you ain't gonna tip anyways. We're just gonna put it in there for you. But this is where we at with it though.
Right,
like
right.
Bro, if you eat out like 2 or 3 times a week, that's already almost $80 to $100, bro, depending on what you get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you are not finding a meal anywhere for less than $15 anymore, man.
Right.
And that's just for the basic shit. You know.
Con. Hey, you gonna have to eat first before you go out and eat.
Yeah, right.
You got a pregame before you go eat, right?
Like appetizer's a meal.
Right, exactly. So let's read a little bit more. Let's see. It says in 2023, visits to sit-down restaurants dropped about 5% compared to 2022. It says Americans are eating out less as inflation weakens the dollars in their pocket, which is leading to some harsh consequences for restaurants across the country. Jumping down.
After that, because you had Wendy's have put out a statement about a month or 2 ago, pretty much how they were saying they always wanted to try doing like a surge pay, to where like they'll certain times that you'll go to the restaurant, they can hike the price up to whatever they choose, just depending on how busy the day is, man. So they're thinking of different things to try to do to help revenue come in more. So it's America's done, man.
It's done. All right. I'll lead this last 2 paragraphs here. So it says, so this is a trend that has stretched over. So this is a trend that has stretched on for over a year. People just aren't eating out as much as they once did, right? It says, as a result, we are seeing a wave of closures all over the country. Even in the Big Apple, large numbers of restaurants are being shut down. All right. So you get it. Yeah, that's pretty much the point there. So pretty much this US economy is in trouble, man. All right. As we just went into the video at the beginning of this lesson, speaking about how the elite want to get rid of cash totally. Right. You know, can we get Salaki, you got it.
I was gonna say they understand that those businesses like that is what keep the economy going. You know, these like intermediary type, you know, jobs, because not just the restaurants, which is highlighting that, but you got these major stores like these Macy's, Bed Bath & Beyond, Toys R Us, these different businesses that have pretty much been known for years. All these people are going under as well, man, because the forecast for the economy is terrible now, man. Real quick. Ecclesiastes 12:3. Right on time. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Because as we've been saying, man, the keepers of the house is these top economists, and they're all forecasting that this economy through, man. You know, that's why they're telling you to invest in gold and silver and all that, because paper money is done, man. You know, all this shit is done, man. You know, the housing market is trash. You can't find a job because there's no businesses, man. Everything is done, man.
Man, this place is out of there.
Yeah, right. Verse 4. And the door shall be shut in the street when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, right? And that's what you're seeing, where a lot of these people that's trying to switch jobs, that's trying to find a job, can't nobody find them because there's nobody hiring, man.
Yep, and that's what it said. It said the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low. Man, all of these food chains, businesses are being shut down. Man, that's the prophecy. All right, and it's beautiful because as we look at these current events and measure it with the scriptures, it's all happening. Right?
Yeah.
You know, Red Lobster closing at least 99 locations as its future comes into question. Here's another one. It says America is running out of money and nobody cares. All right. Pretty much summing up everything that we just went through in the beginning video dealing with redacted. All right. And we're not going to read this. We're just hitting the highlights because you brothers out there and you sisters, you get the point there. Here's another one. It says, this is from the Wall Street Journal. It says Walmart's reign as America's biggest retailer is under threat. It says, with Amazon on its heels, the nation's biggest company by revenue is hunting for ways to continue growing, right? Because we're coming into a point. I got the article right here as well. We're coming into that point. Matter of fact, let me read it. I'll read the point here. Where was it at? It says, lock here. I should have highlighted it. Bear with me 1 second. It says, here we go. It says, while Amazon and Walmart's businesses compete head on, there are big differences. Amazon earns much of its profit from non-retail operations such as cloud computing and advertising, while grabbing retail market share with fast shipping. It says Walmart gets the bulk of its sales and profits from U.S. stores, while growing side businesses like advertising and digital sales. So what's happening is, right, as all of these, big chain stores close down, everything is going to be, pretty much pushed to Amazon, right? And by Amazon pretty much being the go-to company, they're going to use that to control, what you can buy, what you can get and things of that nature, man. Amazon's going to be used as part of this this new system that's being pushed, right? So you're going to have limited access on, particular things. You're not going to be able to buy and get things that you normally would, versus going to the store physically, So it's getting heavy out here, man. If you want to add in there, Priest, or anything you want to add in there.
I was just saying, one other reason too why they're going under like that, because more people, shop like online. They're getting a lot of the stuff from like Amazon. So Walmart, nobody's really going in the stores and buying everything. And one of the reasons why nobody's doing that because the shelves are empty.
Right.
It's being done on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those products on Amazon are private label products. Basically products that are bought from China.
Mm-hmm.
And everyday people just put them and resell them on Amazon, and they just put their label on them.
Exactly.
So it's only funneling more money into out of America into the pockets of Moab. Which is only going to drain the economy even more.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So pretty much that's the state of this economy right now, man. You brothers and sisters out there, continue to pay attention, man. What's happening? This thing is really going down, man. All right, we're literally seeing the demise of this man's economy and this dollar, man. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna grab this too, because everything is leading to where? To the pathway of destruction. You said something, Priest?
I was just going to say I got a precept just to tile the economy.
You got it.
It's Isaiah 19 and 5 in the NLT. It reads, the waters of the Nile will fail to rise and flood the fields. And the Nile is likened unto that source of commerce, right? The flow of the economy, right? So the economy is drying up.
Right.
As the elder brought out, all these businesses are closing. The restaurants are closing. You don't see strip malls and shopping centers like you used to, because everything is closing up, right? It says the riverbed will be parched and dry. The canals of the Nile will dry up, and that's all the branches of this economy, man. Right? The only profitable side of the economy at this point is the war. Them going to war, and that's why we see the war talks and tensions brewing up, man.
Mm-hmm. And that's the spirit, and that's what I wanted to segue into, right, real quick. And the Elder Hawaii wanted the articles in the chat. So Lord willing, I'll post those before we close it out, man. I got you. So yeah, I wanted to segue into what you brought out about the war and everything that's happening right now. So here it is right here. This is from thesun.com. It says, out of troops. It says Ukraine warns it has no more reserves as Putin masses 500,000 fighters on front line in pivotal moment for West. Right. So 500,000 troops Russia has on the front line, man. All right. So this thing is getting ugly. All right. And you see, as they're over the past months, they have been sending U.S. soldiers over into these particular regions, man, because the war Armageddon is brewing up. It's about to go down, man. We're closer than ever. And that's why I did the lesson yesterday, just briefly touching on this, dealing with Vladimir Putin. It says, what if Putin doesn't want peace? And like I said, it's really Yahweh Shem Shai that doesn't want peace, man, pertaining to prophecy. All right, because Yahweh Shem Shai is a man of war. All right. And I want to get a quick scripture. If you can get for me, it's one in Isaiah. Let me get that real quick. I want to say it's Isaiah 40. Isaiah 42, and read 13 through 16, Baba Kusha.
I got it. This is Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 13. It says, Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war.
You see that? He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. This is the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that's on Putin and the rest of these kings of the east to enact his judgment. Okay, you got it.
It says, he shall cry, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now
right, that's heavy. He said, I have long time holding my peace. Right. So what if Putin doesn't want peace? What if the Lord doesn't want peace? Right.
Right.
You know, go ahead.
Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once.
Right. Hey, that's the spirit of war.
Mm-hmm.
That war cry is going out amongst these nations. All right. These nations are preparing for the inevitable World War III. Anymore?
God. It says, verse 15, and I will make, I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up all their herbs. I will make the rivers islands and I will dry up the pools. That's pretty much the point.
That's it, man. And that's what the nuclear missiles are going to do. They're going to waste everything, man. They're going to dry up and waste everything. Right. So we're not going to read this article. You know, the title was enough. 500,000 troops. Putin has 500,000 troops on the front line. Right. So this thing is getting hot and heavy, as we always say. Here's another one real quick. All right. Just adding on. So this came out 2 days ago. It says White House report. It says Israel may have used U.S. supplied weapons to kill civilians, which violates international humanitarian law. All right. So, man, this thing is getting crazy. Okay. And this is why you're seeing all of these uproars and cries amongst these nations, man, against those that are in power. All right. And it makes sense for these devils to push those anti-laws, I should say. All right. To pretty much to cover their ass, because everybody is prepared, you know, to go to war against Esau in these small hats, pretty much, man. I just want to read a little bit here, and then we'll grab a scripture or two, and that's pretty much it, you know. So it says the administration of President Joe Biden has issued a report suggesting that Israel Defense Forces may have used American supplied weapons in ways inconsistent with international humanitarian law. All right, because Esau never abides by the rules anyway. All right. So it says on multiple occasions, however, due to the absence of American personnel in Gaza, it could not be confirmed whether American weapons were indeed utilized in incidents with high numbers of civilian casualties. Okay, it says because those Palestinians over there are just getting murdered, man. You know, and that's why there's a great outcry in the earth to stop the small hatters. It says this report comes in response to Biden's national security memorandum 20, issued in February, which tasked the federal government with assisting the credibility of Israel's assurances regarding the lawful use of U.S. weapons. It says, if it's determined that Israel violated international law with American weapons, Washington would be compelled to suspend all non-defensive military aid to the country, all right? And that's going to be a problem, all right? So we see where this thing is headed, man, you know? So if brothers want to add in there, but that's pretty much it, man. You know, everything that we going through in this live lesson, it shows us that this place is totally on the pathway of destruction, you know? You got anything?
You want to put that video on the screen? That just further cements.
Oh, yes. The water, brother. Yes. Just to add more fuel to the fire, man. This place is finished, man. Where'd you find that at?
TikTok.
All right, bear with me 1 second. Let me pull it up. Just to give you a quick example.
This is just the further proof that, as you're going to see in the caption on the video, everybody can see the writing on the wall for America, man.
Absolutely. All
Of
right.
inclusion across all groups.
Slocky, let me change the screen over. Man, this place is done. All right, here we go. Let me share the screen. All right, it says we're going to lose every war and we deserve it. Look at this madness.
Of inclusion across all groups in the military. Come back tomorrow morning for the first 10 minutes and then run away. I'm going to focus a little bit more today on my story and that of transgender service members and how and why that fits into the picture of why inclusion matters. Why does it matter to us as a military? Why is it not a negative that some people may believe it to be? And how do we as leaders use it to enhance mission accomplishment?
God damn, boy.
What the hell does that got to do with fighting a war? That's how you know these people's priorities are all over the place, bro. They're everywhere but where they need to be at. Which shows you why America's finished, bro. These troops are going to mop the floor with America, bro.
Con.
I got a precept.
You got it, brother.
Joel 3:9 says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hook into spears, let the weak say, I am strong." You know, so like brothers is going into the different articles that they're bringing out, you know, the nations, the Lord's putting the spirit on these nations to gear up for war. You know, you can see via this video, like the mighty men of Babylon, you know, have fallen very low. You know, these other nations, you know, who were once looked at as the weak, you know, now have the military capacity to fight against America, and they're tired of the tyranny, and the rape, robbery, and the bloodshed that this man has pushed forth during his reign. You know, now it's time for this man to be taken out of power.
Con.
That was it. If I made
it
in the NLT,
Con.
then it said, "Hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Train even your weaklings to be warriors." So this is what we're seeing. You know, the scriptures talk about that nation that dwelleth without care.
Yeah.
You know, being America. So we're in such a state where they don't have any true fears to worry about. So they can allow grown ass men to pretend to be women,
right,
and go into the army and things of that nature, man.
Right.
While these other nations who are actually preparing for war are raising up their children to be fighters, man. They're raising these men and these kids up, you know, to ultimately go to war against Babylon the Great.
Right.
Con.
Add to. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, and I'm gonna start at verse 28 and points in 30. It says, "Prepare against her the nations with the king of the Medes, and the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion."
That's the Russians, the Medes. Yep. You got it.
"And the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without habitation," or inhabitants, like it. says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken, because everything that we see Yahweh Shemel Shah doing is all set up to destroy this place. So him allowing America to pretty much make their soldiers weak, that was all part of the plan to weaken Babylon for her destruction, man. Because as the brother just made mention, as you see the rest of the world preparing to go to war, like I said, you got this thing which is supposed to be a commander officer in the Space Force. They're talking about, instead of going into war tactics on how to get ready for the fight, going into its journey on how it became a woman. This shows you this place is done, man. And then you got a lot of these videos coming out of Americans don't want to join the military, and the ones that's joining is to get that surgery to become like that. But the ones that's actually wanting to fight, you see a lot of them like, yo, we don't want to go to war, man. You know, draft the gun toting Edomites. We don't want. Everybody's funny now, so nobody wants to go join the military anymore.
It said Babylon has become as women. Hey, add one more, Nahum 3:13, man. So because this is terrible, man. All right, and as it's prophesied, this place is going to lose. America's done, man. Stick a fork in it.
This is Nahum 3:13. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open unto thine enemies. The fire shall devour their bars.
Yeah, that's it, man. This place it has waxed weak, and is going to be destroyed by its enemies. All right, so it's over, man. You know, the pathway of destruction.
And if I can make mention too, because it's funny, you brought out this Nahum, because Nahum was prophesying against Nineveh, and what was Nineveh known for? Their leader, their king, was a damn transformer, man. He used to want to dress up as a woman, just like we see on that. So that's the same thing going in America's time, man.
Same spirit.
This place is weak.
Same spirit, man. Man, that's heavy. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it right there. As far as the points that we made, as far as this place going down the pathway of destruction, man. I mean, if you can't see it, man, you better pray to Yahweh Shemel Shah to allow you to see it.
That's right.
And you brothers could chime on anything before we wrap up. I want to get these articles in the chat. I want to see if it'll let me put it in the chat real quick. For the Elder Hawaii. Let me see.
But that's it, though, man. Like I said, you have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, to understand that we're at the end, man. It's not hard to tell if you're in the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah. So like the scriptures say, blessed are your eyes for they see and your ears for they hear, man.
That's right, bro.
It's made plain to the elect and a stumbling block to the wicked, man.
Con.
Can I get one precept?
You got it.
2 Ezra 15:5 says, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
That's right.
Because as we see, the economy and everything breaking down, that's only going to lead to, wars, a civil unrest. That's only going to lead to more people looking to depend on this system, to go down to Egypt for help, which we understand for our people that do that, it's going to lead them into a snare, which is a trap, to taking that MOT to the beat. It's going to lead them to being what? Destroyed in World War III, thermonuclear destruction. That's right.
Come on. Hey, countdown to the destruction of Babylon, man. The Most High has numbered this place and finished. And you brothers in the comment section, I don't know if it's popping up. Okay, I see it here. It's it's highlighted, so you can click it. If you can't, just copy and paste the link. But we'll leave it like that, man. Any brothers got anything else you want to chime in with, or All right. Well, we pray that this lesson was informative and also edifying, man. So, like I always say, man, just continue to stay glued to the prophecies, continue to watch, because this thing is going down, and it's going down quick. All right. I want to close out by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Hey, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.
All right.